Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Ram ProMaster EV. And you might be thinking like, why are we talking about this vehicle? Well, there's an interesting reason why. I did a whole article about it on Mopar Insiders the other day. And it's no, secret that EVs lose more than half their value in the first year. It just seems like these EVs constantly are dropping value. The demand for them aren't there. We've seen the big push over the past several years for electric vehicles. The new administration comes in and eliminates all the tax credits and whatnot, and the demand kind of fell, fell to the wayside, and that leaves a lot of dealers with these vans on their lots. Chevrolet, their Bright Drop van, they spent tons of money developing that. And they even tried to change the marketing strategy with it. Instead of having it as its own brand, the actual Bright Drop name, they put it under the Chevrolet brand, and they canceled it. They were building them in Canada, and they announced, hey, we're not going to build them anymore. So, I mean, they had a whole bunch of aftermarket upfitters planning to buy them. Coleman was going to build a camper with them, and all of a sudden Coleman had to take and bite the bullet and not build their camper with them. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on with this electric vehicle whole push. And a lot of companies were kind of depending on it, kind of looking into the future. And then, of course, Rivian. Rivian's really been the only one that's been kind of successful with their vans because of their contract with Amazon. But if we actually go to the Rivian website here, you'll see that now they have opened them up for fleet buyers. Now, they won't just sell them to Joe Schmo, but they're doing it for fleets. And they start out at almost $80,000 for the Delivery 500, and then there's a longer wheelbase one called the Delivery 700, which, if we go back down here, you're going to see the two differences there. So again, it's very interesting watching this whole EV full-size van market and how it's been kind of going on. But when I was doing research the other day for another vehicle, I stumbled upon this ad right here. This is Landers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Norman, Oklahoma. And they had one of these Ram ProMaster EV step vans. It was the high roof version, so it's got the new, again, step van delivery door that they just came out with just over a year ago to help kind of push the ProMaster, because ProMaster demand went and skyrocketed like about 3-4 years ago, to the point they expanded production down in Mexico. And all of a sudden it's been kind of teetering off a little bit. But so they came out with something that people wanted. They wanted a step van version, and they built one. Well, this one's the EV one, and it was stickered for $72,285. But if you look at the top, you can see that $72,285, but look at the savings. There's $36,143 in savings. That makes the total, after the documentation fee, the total is $36,741. So they are taking almost a 50% bath on this vehicle. It just amazes me. And it's not just this dealer. Dealers all across the country. So, I mean, I went to visor.vin and I pulled some up, and it's been pretty interesting. I've been kind of going through and looking at some of them. Some of them are still listed at sticker price because some dealers just don't want to mess around and be aggressive. They just say, hey, if you're going to be interested, you'll call. But some dealers are trying to get rid of these things, and I'm looking at the dates on some of these because you got to remember these vans came out in 2024, and we're seeing some crazy actual inventory dates. This one right here, the second one on the list, look at here. It's $44,799. $44,799. It's only got 28 miles on it. It's been on the lot there at this dealer for 828 days. We look next to it. Here's one for $50,000, just like the one we've seen in the article I wrote. This one has 10 miles on it, 818 days. So you can see there's a trend. So the funny thing is it's actually kind of good in a way that these EVs are kind of, being dropped so much in price, because for people who are looking for budget-friendly full-size vans with little to no maintenance, they have some options out there. And again, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at these vans that wouldn't consider EVs because of the pricing. And it's not so much that like the range sucks, because if we go over to the Rivian stuff, okay, the Rivians, they have a range of 160 miles. Well, the Delivery 700 does. It's 160 miles. And the Delivery 500 has 161 miles. And again, that's estimated range. Depends on if you're doing more stops and stuff. The more you brake, the more it regens. Again, the more you're in city traffic and stuff, it kind of builds up the range. If you get on the highway, obviously that's going to be a lot less because that's how EVs work. But the Ram ProMaster EV does 164 in mixed driving. And that's what it's rated at. So again, it's got a 110 kilowatt battery pack. If you look at my Charger Daytona, it's got a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, so it's a little bit smaller, 10% bigger in this van. Performance-wise, it's not bad. If we go down to the bottom of my article here, we actually, I broke it down on the actual performance of the van. 268 horsepower, so it's on par with the Pentastar V6 models. It's got 302 pound-feet of torque, and that's from a 200 kilowatt electric drive motor that powers the front wheels. And then, again, if you look at the actual, what you can haul, and the actual cargo capacity of these vans, the cargo van itself can haul up to 3,020 pounds. That's pretty damn good. And if you look at the step van, that's down because of the door configuration and whatnot to 2,876 pounds. Now, why am I saying this? Because there is a lot of van life people out there. We've seen a number of people build camper vans, stealth camper vans, just normal camper vans that want to travel, that, again, with the infrastructure, if now that some of the Tesla supercharger stations can, accommodate Stellantis vehicles and that, those who don't want to travel like really long distances but want to build a stealth camper van out of these vehicles and be able to go, a couple hundred miles a day can easily do that, and especially with gas prices right now because fuel prices are at a high because of the war with Iran and stuff like that. So ultimately, there are some really good deals for people that are looking outside the box. So you can get, again, if you go get a normal ProMaster, high roof van and that, you're looking at close to like just a gas powered one. You're looking at close to like $60-some thousand, and that's before upfitting it. These ones are in the 40s. And again, with fuel prices being the way they are, there's going to be some self-conscious people out there looking for like, hey, we're going to look for something that's, budget friendly because we're traveling across the country. So again, if you don't have to be like, totally off the grid and you want to do like some actual traveling and live out of your van and stuff, there are some really cool options out there. And again, if you go on to visor.bin, you can go through and see like the prices. So, like again, some of these are, they still have the normal prices on here. You can see $78,756. But look at here, 1 mile. This van's been on the lot for 721 days, $49,615. And the cool thing is some of these are delivery vans with the actual sliding door. So it depends on how stealthy you want to be. You can have a normal cargo van, or you can have one of the delivery vans and make it even more like stealthy. So again, I think it's kind of neat that it's, because of how the market has been, it's opening up options if you think outside the box. And really, I think Ram should be kind of buying into that to help get rid of this, excess inventory. There's no reason why they can't give one of these vehicles to a stealth camper person or YouTuber and make them convert it and show the, fact that, hey, it's not such a bad vehicle after all. The thing is depending on where you're at in the United States, the infrastructure could be really good or it could be really bad. If you go up to Alaska, it's not going to be pretty good. It's not going to be good at all. But if you're traveling around just the continent, the lower 48 and the continental United States, basically there is enough charging infrastructure, as long as you don't go way out in the desert, but there's enough charging infrastructure where you can get across country, no problem. So again, I think there's a lot of possibilities with these vehicles for those who are looking outside the box. So I want to know what you guys think. Make sure to leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this whole EV pricing thing, because again, like look at here, 5 miles. It's been on the lot for 722 days, and it's $47,400. And then if you look at the sticker price, they're in the 70s. So it's just crazy. Like again, we've seen stuff in the 30s, we've seen stuff in the 40s. It's going to be a very interesting time to shop around if you really want one of these EV vans, because you can get some really killer deals out there. So I want to hear your comments. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.